Bhavasya Sishi Guran Gauranga. Now we remember transcendental Vrindavan. Bale Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Varesane wali ki jai, Vrishabhanu Raj Kumari Ju ki jai, Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Radha Giridhari Giridhari Shama Banwari O Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari Giridhari Shama Banwari O Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari Giridhari Shama Banwari Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari O Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari Giridhari Shama Banwari O Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari Giridhari Shama Banwari Radha Ramana Giridhari O Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari Giridhari Shama Banwari Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari O Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari O Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari O Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari Giridhari Kunj Vihari Giridhari Rasa Vihari O Mero Radha O Mero Radha O Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari Giridhari Shama Banwari Mero Radha O Mero Radha Ramana Giridhari Giridhari Shama Banwari O Radha Ramana Giridhari O Hare Krishna Hare Krishna मेरा नैनो से नैनो मिलाए रहो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो 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 राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल 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 बोलो राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Gaura Premanand. Nama Shrishtam Manamapi Harshachiputram Atra Surupam Rupam Tasakachamuripuri Maturim Gostuvatim Radha Kundamagirivaram Radhikamadvasam Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Sri Guru Tam Natos Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Anandalilamaya Vigrahaya Hemapadivyatschami Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Bhaktya Vina Aparada Lakshay Chiptasya Kamaritaram Komoti Kripa Maitam Sharanam Prapana Vrinde Namaste Jaranaravinda Vrinde Namaste Jaranaravinda Govinda Damo Daramadaviti Govinda Damo Daramadaviti Govinda Damo Daramadaviti Govinda Damo Daramadaviti Hey Krishna Hey Adava Hey Saketi Govinda Damo Daramadaviti Sham Sundar Shikanda Shikar Smraha Sumurli Manohara Radhikar Sukumbama Kripanidhi Supriya Charna King Kurim Kuru Tavaivasmi Na Jivami Tayavana Jivikaya Devi Tam Namam Charantikam First of all, I offer my Sastang Dandavat Puspanjali, my heart like flowers thousands and thousands of times, at the lotus feet of my holy master, my supremely worshipable spiritual Gurudev. Asmadeva Paramaradatam Guru Pada Padma, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupada, Ashtotara Satasi Srimad Rupanugacharya Varya, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Param Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara. And finally, I offer my pranam to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, Vancha Kalpatarupasta, Kripa Sindhu Bhavatam, Putitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So today, by the causeless of Sri Guran Gauranga, we are hearing from Paramamangal, supremely auspicious Sri Vanmayi Murti, the sound incarnation of Sri Krishna, Grantharaj, the king of all scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 20, Text 24. So devotees can recite, repeat after me. Na kamayena tatadapyaham kvachin. Na yatra yusmat charanam bhujashava. Mahatamantaridayan mukachyuto. Vidat swakanayun shame shame bara. So this is a very important verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, spoken by Prithu Maharaj. Our Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he said that this verse is like a crest jewel upon the crown of all Shuddha Vaishnavas. Meaning, this verse is the decoration, topmost decoration of their divine forms. The context is that in ancient times, in the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj, there was a king named Anga. So Angaraj, he had a son, a little boy. His name was Bena. So Bena, from his very childhood, had a krura swabhav. That means a very cruel nature. He was vicious from his childhood. In fact, in his childhood, when he was playing with his little playmates, then sometimes he used to kill them for fun. As he got older, he liked to go hunting. And when he was galloping on his horse and coming to any forest or village, if anyone saw him, they would, from far away, they would explain, Vainer is coming, run for your life. And all the people would run away. So he was not the most popular of monarchs. The Brahmanas, the Rishis, they gave him good advice. His father tried to educate him again and again, but he would not listen. And his father became so discouraged that he couldn't educate, he couldn't train his son, he could not change his character, that his father saw no other option but to just leave home and go to the forest. So when the king suddenly, in the middle of the night, just up and left. See, that's ideal kings in those days understood that they were just doing a service. It was their post to be king, and it does not serve the aim of human life to be drowning in sense gratification for the whole life. But when you still have some life and energy left, one should retire and leave everything anonymously and go to the forest to do austerities and be absorbed in remembering the Supreme Lord, so that one can make the purpose and mission of human life successful. So the king, he left everything to go to the forest to do bhajan. And all the citizens were very disturbed. They made a great endeavor to try to bring him back, but wherever they went, they couldn't find him even. So now his son, Vena, became the king. And he continued in his wicked and cruel ways. But the Brahmanas and the Rishis, they tried to give him good advice. Don't waste your time in sense gratification and worldly enjoyment. You should try to do Hari Bhajan. Engage in the service of the Supreme Lord. Then Vena used to say to them, I am Ishvara, what are you talking about? I am in charge, I am in control. I have my grip on everything. Who is Ishvara other than myself? So then the Brahmanas and Rishis, being incapable of tolerating such blasphemy to the Supreme Lord, by mantras they killed him. Vena was dead. This nice service they did for the protection of society. So then, the mother of Vena, she protected his body with mantras. And the rishis themselves, they were thinking, oh, now what will happen? Because very soon, when the Kshatriyas, the kings, are not in charge, and the threat of being punished is not hanging over the head of the miscreants in society, then gradually anarchy begins to spread everywhere. So on the death of the king, all thieves, rogues and dacoits and persons of bad character, they began to have, who will punish us now? And anarchy began to spread throughout the kingdom. So the rishis, seeing this, they thought, we need to have a new king, but it will not be good if this dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj will come to an end. Because in this dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj, many kings have been born who were Mahabhagavat, great, exalted, transcendentally situated, pure devotees of Krishna. So, somehow or other, this dynasty should go on. So then the rishis, they knew a technique, and they began to churn the arms of the body of Vena. And then, from the body of Vena came one man, male form and female form. Who was that? One of them was Prithu Maharaj, yes. And the other one was Archi, yes. So Prithu Maharaj and Archi, they are angsas of the Lord. That means they are Shaktivesh. In other words, when the power of Lord enters into a living entity, then he's called Shaktivesh. So, he is the incarnation of a Prajapalan Shakti. That means the power to protect the citizens. So now a very ideal king appeared there. And very soon, because of his mercy and his rule and engaging all the people in their prescribed duties, in the spirit of surrendering the fruit of all their work to the service of God and Vaishnavas, very soon Mother Earth began to release all types of opulences. Mother Earth, she's a goddess, and when everything is used in the service of Krishna, she gives bountifully. So there's prosperity for all the people. So society was going on very nicely. So the king is supposed to perform sacrifices to please the Supreme Lord and benefit the people. So Prithu Maharaj, he began to perform the famous Ashvamedha Yajna. So it is said that if one can perform 100 Ashvamedha Yajna, horse sacrifices, then that person will become Indra, the king of heaven. So when Prithu Maharaj had performed 99 Ashvamedha Yajnas, then Indra was getting really worried. He'd been doing the countdown, 96, 97, 98, 99. He became worried about his position. So, out of fear of the prowess also of the sons of Prithu Maharaj, he disguised himself as a sannyasi, wearing very reddish cloth. Not like our Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur and others. They wear this nice anurag color. But he was wearing a very reddish color cloth, and he came there and he stole the horse number 100 from the Jagya to destroy the Jagya. So then Indra, he was getting away with the horse, but the sons of Prithu Maharaj attacked him, and he let go of the horse, and he also gave up that cloth as well. And then at once so many heretics came forward and caught it. And who did they become? The Digambara Jains, the Jain sect, Buddhists, the Kapalic yogis. All of these persons, they perform extreme austerities and they have extreme detachment from the world, and they wear this cloth which was cast off by Indra, which is the very embodiment of sin. Now one may say, well, if they're becoming detached from sense gratification and they're doing austerities, then how can they be sinful? Why? Because their whole life and their whole philosophy is dedicated to Shunyavad, denying the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His beautiful name, form, qualities and pastimes. So on the spectrum of abhakta, on the spectrum of non-devotees, they are at the extreme limit of non-devotional service. So, then, Prithu Maharaj, he decided to set out to catch Indra and finish him. So then he set out, but Lord Brahma came and he protected Indra from him. So then Prithu Maharaj, he returned to his sacrifice, and then Lord Vishnu himself, being pleased, though he didn't do 100, but being pleased with 99 Ashvamedas, Lord Vishnu himself appeared there in the yagya of Prithu Maharaj, along with Indra. So then, Supreme Lord told Prithu Maharaj, those who are surrendered to me, those who are mature in their devotional service, they are untouched by the dualities of material existence. They don't see any loss or gain, victory or defeat, honor or dishonor, friends or enemies. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself said, Dvaite batra batra gyan sabha mano dharma, e bala e manda e sabha. This knowledge that this is good and this is bad, Dvaite batra batra gyan, sabha mano is mano dharma, the religion of your material mind. What dharma, what religion is the material mind following? Someone may say Christian, Hindu, Muslim. No? Mano dharma. If a person is affected by the dualities of this world, then they are following the mano dharma, religion of the material mind, the bodily conception of life. All complete illusion. Therefore Mahaprabhu said, E bala, e manda, e sababram. It's all a mistake to say this is good and this is bad. To give blame here and there, pointing the fingers at others, being angry, being disturbed, being upset, seeing friends and enemies. All of this is mano dharma, product of the mind, and those who are surrendered to the Supreme Lord, they never immerse their consciousness in this contamination. All contamination, all darkness, all foolishness. Sri Krishna himself has said in Bhagavad Gita, Na kartitvam, na karmani, lokasya srijati prabhu, na karma phala samyogam, svabhavastu pravartate. The living entity does not instigate his own actions. Na kartitvam. The living entity himself is not the performer of the actions, and neither is he the one that brings about the union with the fruit of action. All of this is going on by Swabhav. Swabhav means that in the Mahatattva, in the most subtle element of the universe, all the sanskars, anadi sanskars, impressions from time immemorial with no beginning are there for each and every living entity, and everyone is in the flow of that karma. Anadi karma with no beginning. But out of ignorance, we think, oh, this person has done this activity. He has instigated the activity, he has performed the activity, and he is also responsible for the foul, the fruit of that activity also. But Krishna said, no, lokasya srijati prabhu. The soul is not instigating the activity, not performing the activity, and not responsible for the fruit of the activity either. Only the swabhav of that living entity, that means in Mahat, that portion of Mahatat which is in his subtle body, that is called Chitta, there is Anadi Sanskar, impressions without beginning, and they're just flowing into his mind one after another, and everything is going on. And Atma is like in a sleeping state. That's why Mahaprabhu said, Jeev jago, Jeev jago. Gaura chanda bole, kotinita jao maya pisachit. Oh, living entities, wake up, wake up. How long will you sleep in the lap of Maya illusion? Like this. Laughing and crying over this and that. Even Shakespeare understood this. Life is but a walking shadow. A poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage. A tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, but signifying nothing. Even Shakespeare understood this. So what to speak of devotees who are surrendered at the lotus feet of Gurudev and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Why will they get mixed up in the dualities of this world? Blaming this one and that one? Don't do it. Parikshit Maharaj said, Dharmo bravisi dharmagya dharmosi brasharupa drik. Yada dharma kritam sthanam suchakatsyapi tad bhavet. It means that if a person does some sinful act, then the person who identifies him, oh, you are a sinful person, he goes to the same destination as the person who performed that adharma. He goes to the same destination. Why? Because both are on the same Ferris wheel. Only one is thinking, I'm on the top of the Ferris wheel and you're on the bottom. But the next moment the whole wheel will turn around and he'll be on the top and you'll be on the bottom. Like that. That means as long as we're on the platform of false ego, on the platform of duality, then we are condemning ourselves to go up and down from the top to bottom through many, many lives in this universe. So it has to, at some point you have to stop. We have to stop doing this. So, Supreme Lord said to Prithu Maharaj, here is Indra. He is very sorry that he stole your horse. Now forgive him. And Indra fell at the feet of Prithu Maharaj and said, please forgive me. And Prithu Maharaj obeyed the order of Supreme Lord. Forgive Indra. What is this forgiveness? Forgiveness is not something that you do because you're so merciful. It's something that you do because you realize that you were in Maya. Offense is something which is taken. Anyone can say anything. You're like this, and like Shishupal was criticizing Krishna. Just never takes offense because he's beyond the three gunas. But if someone doesn't, then we take it. Oh, I am very angry and offended. This person is so evil. Now we have forgotten that everyone, they are not initiating their activities, not performing their activities, and not bringing about the fruit of their activities. We've forgotten even the basic teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So now we are on the platform of Ahankar, false ego. Now we're in Maya. Now we're in Rajagun and Tamagun, thinking this one is good and this one is bad. This one is my enemy. and I will bear a grudge and never forgive him. And then we go before Gaur Nitai and we say, "Oh my Supreme Lord, please forgive me for the offenses that I have done knowingly, but this guy, don't forgive him for the offenses he did by accident." Huh? Right? "Please forgive me, Lord, for what I knowingly did, but what this person did accidentally, punish him." What kind of hypocrisy is that? So Jesus Christ said, "And we forgive those who trespass against us." "Oh my Lord, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us." We cannot pray for the Lord's causeless mercy while demanding justice for everyone else. If you want justice for another person, then go to the Supreme Lord and say, "Okay, don't give me any mercy, just give me justice also. Whatever karma I have done, I want to just taste that, don't give any mercy to me." So we should not be hypocrites. And always in every situation, forgive and forget. Better not even to be in a situation you don't even have to forgive because you never take offense. Because everything that happens to every living entity in this world is their own karma. It was not created by you or anyone else. Everyone is experiencing their own individual karma file. So there's a saying, if Krishna wants to kill you, no one can save you. If Krishna wants to save you, no one can kill you. Everything is in the hands of God. You cannot point the finger at anyone. Everyone experiences their own individual karma file, not more, not less. So, Supreme Lord put Indra there, who was very sheepish and embarrassed, and he begged forgiveness from Prithu Maharaj, and Prithu Maharaj just, okay, forget it. Can you imagine how much hard work it is to do 199 Ashwamedha Yagyas? And the point is to complete 100. And then he just came and spoiled the last one. Can you imagine? So, this history is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. When Prithu Maharaj forgave Indra, then Supreme Lord was very happy and wanted to give him a benediction. So, when Prithu Maharaj saw the Lord was eager for a benediction, then he prayed to him this verse. He said, "Na kame na tadapyaham kvachin." I don't want anything which will put me in a situation where I will not be able to drink the nectar of your beautiful Harikatha. The meaning is that some persons searching for transcendence, they abandon everything and they go to the forest to stay alone. And they control their senses and they do austerities and they feel some relief from material existence. They may feel a little satisfaction from that practice, but the point is this: they're not satisfying the Supreme Lord. Sangside haritoshanam. The purpose of all the scriptures and the purpose of all dharma is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they've completely missed the point. But what is pleasing to the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Shuddha Bhakti. And that pure Bhakti appears in our heart and grows exponentially, moment by moment, when we hear Harikatha. So he's saying, "Oh my Lord, I don't want anything, or any situation. I don't even want liberation, in which there's no opportunity to hear the nectar of the glories of your lotus feet. But rather, Mahattam Antar Hridayam Mukachyuto." Mahatma Antar Hridayan means from the innermost core of the hearts of the Mahat, the great realized devotees, Mukochyuta, and then coming out of their mouth, I want to hear that katha. Why? Prithu Maharaj, he said, because when the pure devotees speak from the core of their heart, then in that Shabda Brahma, in that transcendental sound, it is carrying the particles of kumkum from the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. You know, there's kumkum on the lotus feet of Krishna. Very, very powerful. Purna palinda urgaya pratapcharaga Shri kumkumena daitastana manditena Thaddashana smarurjatrana rushitena Limpante anana kucheshu jahustadadhim. Radharani is weeping in separation from Krishna. And in her heart she's seeing at Govardhan there are some jungly Pulindi Aborigine girls from a completely uncivilized outcast tribe. They wander in the forest collecting wood and then they sell it to people. So there were two girls named Mali and Bringi, and they were wandering there and they saw some reddish fragrant powder on the grass. Because Sri Krishna had kept his lotus feet on the heart of his beloved, so her cosmetic kumkum had smeared on his feet, and when he was secretly returning, to his home. Then the Pulindigos came and saw that kumkum on the grass. So when they saw it, just the fragrance of it made them become mad with desire to meet with Krishna. And when they smeared it on their faces and on their bodies, then they had a spurti of Krishna at once and felt as if in their hearts they were meeting with him and all their desires were completely fulfilled. They became Purna, completely fulfilled. So it's a matter of controversy whose kumkum this was. Some commentators say, it was from the heart of Radhika herself. And others say, because this is chapter 21, and in chapter 24 and 25, there will be Govardhan Lila. Govardhan Lila will come. So some have considered that actually this kumkum was from the heart of Chandravali. And when Krishna was wandering home, then the evidence of his meeting with Chandravali was made on the grass at Govardhan. So then Krishna, he was so worried. What if Radharani will go and she will see my footprints with kumkum on Govardhan hill? Then I'll be in very big trouble. So when Krishna was worried like this, then Yogamaya attracted Indra to become angry and he sent all the rain just to wash away the evidence. This is the real meaning of the Govardhan Lila. Then when it was raining, Krishna was thinking, very good, now I'm out of trouble. So even though Indra did such a terrible offense by this, but still Krishna forgave him. Because indirectly he had done some seva also. So, what is that kumkum? That is not just ordinary cosmetics. That is... See, Jayadev Goswami, he said, Padma payodartati pariramba lakna Kashmira mudita uro marusudanasya Vyaktanuragamiva kela dananga keda Swedambu pura manupura tayu priyambaha. That, may the chest of Krishna fulfill all your desires and bestow all devotional blessings upon you. Why? Because when Radha and Krishna embrace, during the night, in their embrace, then very tightly Sri Krishna embraces Radhika. And their perspiration mixes with the kumkum, and it becomes like red paint. And then in the morning when they wake up and Krishna stands up, then there's a full imprint of the body of Radhika on his chest. You know, sometimes children, they get some paint like this, then they fold the paper over. And then when you open it, it's the same on both sides. So when Radha and Krishna stand up in the morning, one Radhika is here and one Radhika is printed on the chest of Krishna. So this kumkum, Jiva Goswami, Jayadev Goswami is saying, Vyaktano ragam It is the Vyakt Anuraga, the deep love in the heart of Radhika that was invisible has manifested on her body and onto the body of Krishna in the form of this kumkum. In other words, these saffron particles are the ecstatic love of Radhika for Krishna that have manifested from her heart. So Sri Prithu Maharaj is saying that when the pure Vaishnavas speak from the core of their heart, mixed in with the sound of their voice, floating on the sound of that guitar, is the particles of Radhika's love for Krishna coming from her heart, and when it touches you, then all transcendental desires were fulfilled. Like the Pulindigos became Purna. Then those who are hearing and touched by this love, then all their spiritual desires become completely fulfilled. Therefore, hearing Harikatha is so important. So in this verse, Prithu Maharaj is saying, Mahattamantara Hridayam Mukachyuta, in order to listen to this beautiful katha that emanates from the mouths of the great Vaishnavas, coming from their heart, then Vidatsva Karnayutameshamevara, please give me the benediction of 10,000 years. This is his prayer. 2 years are not enough. But just give me the benediction that I have 10,000 years. Ayuta means 10,000, but the implication is millions. Uncountable years I want. That expresses his greed to hear Harikatha, the pastimes of Sri Krishna. So, after praying in this way, he was blessed that he would have sadhu sangha. Supreme Lord blessed him that he would have sadhu sangha. So this is most wonderful. We see the Prachetas also, they pray, Tulayama lavanapi na swagam na pubhavam bhagavad sangi sangasya matyanam kimutasisha. They were having the darshan of Bhagavan, but they prayed to him, Oh my Lord, what benediction can you give us? We are the residents of this world of birth and death. So anything we ask for is completely futile and useless. But even we don't want mystic powers, yoga siddhis, and we don't want liberation. But what we do want is just one fraction of a second of association with Bhagavad Sangi Sangasya, with your near and dear devotee. That's all we want. Why? Because in that Sangha there is Harikatha, and in that Harikatha there is the saffron particles from the feet of Krishna, which have manifest from the heart of Radharani. This is why. So then, afterwards, Prithu Maharaj, he was ruling over his kingdom. And he gave instructions to all of his people. He said, without duplicity, with a very simple heart, with great sincerity, all of you should perform your daily duties and responsibilities in the spirit of performing them to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You should be very aloof from the objects of the senses. Give up all the bhoga vasana. In your mind, many impressions are coming to enjoy. This is called bhoga vasana. Don't follow them. Whatever bhoga vasana, desires for worldly enjoyment are coming in the mind, forget them. And instead, come in the association of Vaishnavas and engage in kirtan, hearing, chanting and remembering about Krishna. And gradually, by this, pure bhakti will appear in the heart. He said that I will not give any space for any adharma or any wicked persons. He checked the activities of any atheists. But he never tried to put his influence on the Brahmagya Brahmanas, the Brahmanas who had realized Brahman, and the Sarvaprabhu. Sarvaprabhu means the Vaishnavas. They are the lords of all, including the Brahmanas. So, he said, though I am the king, I will not exert any influence or control whatsoever over the Vaishnavas. But rather, I always desire the foot dust that it should be decorating my crown. So in this way, he was ruling over the kingdom very nicely. And many sages and rishis, they used to come to his palace. So one day, some rishis came there, led by Sanat Kumar, Sanatan, Sanandan, Sanak Kumar, the four Kumaras and other rishis. They came to his palace. So at that time, Maharaj Prithu, to set the example for everyone else, he offered them seat. He personally washed their feet and sprinkled the water on his head and over the heads of his family members. He did puja. He worshipped them and spoke very sweet words. He said to them, that person whose home, wealth, family members, land, animals, everything he has is simply used in the service of the Vaishnavas, then that person is actual grihastha. But even if that person is very poor, but still they're actually dhanya, very fortunate. Their life is actually full of divine prosperity. But a person who is a millionaire, having so much wealth, but he's not using his body, his pran, his time, his family members and home and all things in the service of the pure devotees of the Supreme Lord, then his so-called palatial home is just like the hole inside a tree where a poisonous snake lives. Why? Because all of that paraphernalia will do nothing but slowly intensify his fear of death. So just as you become afraid if you put your hand inside a snake hole in a tree, so his so-called opulence is only intensifying his fear of death. So Prithu Maharaj, he said, we have all fallen into this samsara, this endless chain of transmigration from life after lifetime, due to our own previous karmas. This world is such a place, it is like a storehouse of varieties of misery. Understand it? This world is a storehouse of varieties of misery. That's what it is. So he said, "O Sanat Kumar, O great sages, please explain to me, explain to us all, how there can be some auspiciousness in our life. How can we are living in this dangerous place where death is inevitable, where suffering is inevitable. What can we do? How can our lives become auspicious?" So then, Sanut Kumar, he said, "Yat pada palava palasa vilasa bhaktya kamashayam gratitam udgatayanti santa tadvanda rikta matayo yatayo piruddha sotaganas tamaranam pajabasudevam." There are persons, certain yogis and spiritualists, who have a sadhana for controlling their senses. They do pranayama, different types of breathing and mantras and meditation to detach their consciousness from the external world. But the problem is this, that their false ego, their ahankar, is a condensed mass of millions of vasanas, millions of impressions, and they keep flowing into their mind. And all of the attempts, every attempt that they make to stop this flow is like trying to check the flow of a river. You can try it. Jump into a river and spread your arms and say, "Stop!" And the result will be nothing. Huh? So the four Kumars said, "Oh, this flow of desires, these impressions which keep us bound in this world, they cannot be checked by any techniques, atheistic techniques. Why? Because the cause of material existence is indifferent to the personality of Godhead. That's the cause. Krishna Buli say Jeev Anadir Bahimuk Atayeva Mayatari Diya Sangsara Duk. Why are the souls undergoing the experience of this material world? Why? Because Anadir Bahamuk, from time without beginning, they are indifferent. Their faces have turned away from Krishna. And that is the cause. So you cannot stop the flow of material existence while keeping the attention turned away from Krishna. Not going to work. So they said, Yat pada palava bilasa vilasa bhaktya. But the devotees, they're always tools of the lotus toes of Sri Krishna. And simply by being devoted to the pastimes of Krishna's fragrant lotus feet, then this knot in the heart of ahankar, of the deha abhiman, identification with material existence, is completely dissolved, completely undone, easily and naturally. What does it mean? Yat pada palava palasa vilasa bhaktya. To be dedicated to the sweet cooling rays emanating from the tips of the toenails of Sri Krishna. That means to be absorbed in hearing his beautiful pastimes. Like our Srila Bilvamangal Thakur. Sri Bilvamangal Thakur, he has prayed, Karunaruna Taranamaya Vipalaya Tanayanam Kamala Kucha Kalasi Bara Vipuli Katapulakam Murali Ravatarali Katamunamana Nalinam Mama Kela Tumada Cheta Samadharada Ramamritam. Saying Tarunaruna Karanamaya Vipalaya Tanayanam. Tarunaruna. Krishna is Tarun. Very young and beautiful, teenage Krishna. Tarunaruna. And his eyes are reddish. Tarunaruna Kamala Karunama. Why? Full of compassion. The meaning is that Sri Krishna secretly in the night time, he went into the forest of Vrindavan from Nandagaon. And Radhika was brought by her Sakis on Abhisar, a journey through the forest to meet him. And when the night was almost over, the maidservants of Radha and Krishna, they're waiting outside the kunj. They were listening. Oh, what is going on? But now there was complete silence. There was no sound. Anekamantanada manjunupura ravaskalat samajaraja hangsavangsa nikkanati gaurave. The sound of the ankle bells of Radhika defeats the sound of the Rajahansa swans. The sound of Radhika's ankle bells are like mantras that steal the mind of Krishna and bring him under her control. But now no sound is coming at all of the ankle bells of Radhika. No sound of her waist bells. Nothing. So then, the maidservants of Radhika came up to the lattice windows, just like, look. And they peered inside. There they looked inside. And they saw that Radhika was lying completely still, in complete bliss, and completely exhausted, unable to lift even one finger. And Sri Krishna was looking at Radhika. Tarunaruna Karanamaya Vipalaya Tanayanam, with his beautiful lotus eyes full of compassion. Because Krishna is a calm sagar, like ocean of desires. But Radhika is softer than a malati vine, a freshly blossomed jasmine creeper. So Krishna is looking with great compassion at Radhika. His eyes are reddish, like as if a person who's been drinking wine, their eyes go red. So because he's been drinking the wine of the nectar of Radhika's lips, Krishna's eyes are reddish. And glancing at her with great compassion. And thinking, how can I somehow revive her and bring her back to life? So they're watching as Krishna very lovingly takes his pitambar, his yellow cloth, and begins fanning. No sign of life. So then Krishna began to massage her lotus feet. Still no sign of life. So then Krishna thought he would maybe help her get up. So then Krishna put his arm around her and lifted her up. And she fell onto his chest. And when Radha Krishna touched chest to chest, then all sattvic bhavs came in both of them. Hairs are standing on end. Kamala kucha kalasi bara vipuli ikutapulakam. All hairs standing on end and trembling and tears coming from the eyes of Krishna. But still, Radhika is not moving. So then Krishna had an idea. So then he put Radhika down again. All the maidservants are watching through the window. What will he do next? So then Krishna took his flute and began to play Panchama Raga. When Krishna began to play on his flute, then Murali Ravatarali Kritamunamana Sanalinam Mama Kela to Madacheta Samadharada Ramritam. Srila Bilvamangal Thakur is saying that great munis and rishis who have controlled all their senses and controlled their mind and going to samadhi, then they cannot be agitated by anything. But if they are fortunate enough to hear the sound of Krishna's flute, they become agitated. So if such rishis become agitated by the sound of Krishna's flute, then what will happen to Radhika? Not being a sage or rishi, being a cowherd girl, young adolescent cowherd girl. So Bilvamangal Thakur, he cannot express what the effect of Krishna's flute on Radhika, so he's saying, well, the rishis become disturbed, so the rest will leave up to you to decide, to understand. Mama Kela to Madhacheta Samadharada Ramritam. And then Radhika again became maddened, tasting the Adaramrita, the nectar of Shri Krishna's lips. So when the devotees hear and chant about the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna, when they realize them, then very easily the knot in the heart, the attachment to this world is completely dissolved, completely destroyed. So Gurudev is very merciful. He's giving calm beach, calm Gayatri. This calm beach is actually the sound of Krishna's flute. It is that very sound which awakens all the loving desires in the heart of Radhika to please see Krishna. When the gopis are in their homes, and Krishna is in the forest and he begins to play his flute, then that anurag, deep love for Krishna that was sleeping in their hearts wakes up just like fire inside wood. And in the same way, just as when fire inside wood is released and the fire blazes and the wood is burnt to ashes, so in the same way, when Krishna plays his flute, then the fire of gopis' desire to serve and please Krishna manifests like a fire and burns to ashes the fear of Jatila and Kutila and Abhimanyu, and the fear of the censure of society, and the local lajja, and their adherence to dharma, and everything burnt to ash. And at once they run to meet with Sri Krishna. So this is the effect of Sri Krishna's flute, which comes to us in the form of calm beach. One day, by the mercy of a Guru, you will remember calm beach, and this intense gopis love will manifest in the heart. Sometimes it happened that Krishna was on his way to meet with Radharani, but along the way, then he was intercepted by Padma, the very close friend of Chandravali. And she invited him, just come for a few minutes. So Krishna thought, what's the harm? But somehow or other he ended up in the Kunj of Chandravali and time was going by. So then when he extricated himself and he was late to meet with Radhika, then Radhika was in Durjaiman, extremely difficult to break, contrary sulkiness. with Krishna. She would not even look at Krishna. So at that time, see, Krishna tries all types of means of pacification for Radharani. Sometimes to change the mood by something, sometimes to give a gift, sometimes to play his flute, sometimes to bow down at his feet, sometimes to make some dissension amongst the gopis, that they begin quarreling with each other and then they feel sorry for Krishna. He tries all kinds of tricks. But eventually, when Radhika finally, her mind is broken and she decides to glance at Krishna just from the corner of her eye, then that glance is so intense, so filled with love for Krishna, that at once, Venum karan nipatitan skalitam shikandam brastang chapita basanam brajaraja suno yasyaka taksha saragata vimochitasta tam radhika Parichayami Kadara Sena. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur saying, when will the chance come that I will render Paricharya Seva, direct and intimate services to Srimati Radhika, which are full of rasa? And he's giving the example here. When Radhika, her mind is finally broken and she glances at Krishna. Because the loving pastimes between Radha and Krishna, after a man is broken, there will be more ecstatic. Because when Radhika is still meeting with Krishna, but she still has she's somewhat upset in her heart, then she'll punish him. Krishna will say, yes, you should punish me. So this meeting is very ecstatic for Sri Krishna. So only her glance, meaning, oh, now she accepts me, it causes Krishna, he was playing on his flute, but being hit by the glance of Radhika, then his hands began to perspire and his flute fell from his hands to the floor. And he didn't even notice, he was still blowing. Rupa Goswami said, "Oh, glory to the silent flute playing of Krishna." So first his flute falls, then his peacock feather falls to the ground, then his pitamba falls to the ground. And then Krishna himself faints and falls unconscious to the ground. This is the power of Radhika's glance. Anangaranga mangala prasanga bangura pravam savibramam samam brahmam sriganta bana patanai nirantaram vasikritam pratiti nanda nandane kada karisyasi hamam kripakataksha bhajanam. When will Radhika glance to me? The meaning is that Savibramam sasambramam. The glance of Radharani makes Krishna vibram, bewildered. Sasambramam. It makes him become overwhelmed with desire. Drganta bana patanai nirantaram vasikritam. It completely controls him and makes him faint. Pratiti nandanandane. So now Radharani thinks, oh, what have I done? So now it's Radharani's turn to fan Krishna. To give some massage to Krishna. But Krishna is also not coming into consciousness. You see? Krishna said in Gita, Yayatamam prapadyanta, I reciprocate with everyone. So sometimes Radhika is fainted, sometimes Krishna is fainted. And they try to revive each other. This is the meaning, Yayatamam prapadyanta. So now Radhika is trying to bring Krishna back to consciousness. So he tried everything, but nothing worked. So then, kada karisyasi mam kripa katakshabaj. When will Radhika glance at me? That means, when will Radhika from the corner of her eye order her maidservants, Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari and others, to help? So then the Manjaris come and they surround Krishna. And then they begin to sing in a very special raga called the Madan Raga. When Krishna becomes the unconscious due to the poisonous effects of the Radhika's Madanakya Mahabhav, then the only antidote is Madan Raga. So then all the maidservants of Radhika, they begin to sing beautifully a song that she herself has taught them in Madan Raga. And when the sound of this enters into the ears of Krishna, gradually he awakens. Coming back to external consciousness to meet with Radhika. And then, after their pastimes, Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari, fan them with chamaras. They give them fresh and delicious tambul and massage their lotus feet. Shama Kauri Angi Divo Tua Chandanera Ganda Chamaradula Bokabe Haribo Mukha Chandra Gatiya Malati Mala Dibo Dohar Gale Adare Da Tuliha Dibo Kapuratambuli. This is called Yasya Kataksha Saragata Vimochitasya Tamradika Parichayena Kadarasena. The service to the lotus feet of Radhika, which is full of rasa. So, in this way, the devotees who hear the beautiful pastimes of Sri Krishna and Radhika, then being touched by the saffron particles from the lotus feet of Krishna, their bhav, their ecstatic love is awakened. And then they internally begin to serve Radha and Krishna from the core of their heart by their spiritual forms. So very, very easily, the Deyatma Abhinman, consideration that this physical body is the self, and the dualities in this ocean of material existence fade away like a dream. Everything becomes forgotten. And one's life becomes perfect. So the Sanat Kumar, he told to Prithu Maharaj this, Yat Pada Palava Palasa Vilasa Bhaktya Udgan Kamashayan Gratitum Udgatayanti Santa. This absorption in the beautiful pastimes of Krishna's lotus feet is the only way to untie the knot in the heart that keeps the transcendental spirit soul identifying with material existence. So give up all other types of sadhana, all other types of yoga and gyan, and attempts to control the senses which inevitably fail. Bhajavasudevam, and simply serve the lotus feet of Krishna. So then, the Prithu Maharaj was very happy by this sadhu sangha. And then he prayed to them, O Vaishnavas, what can I do to serve you? What can I offer to you? Because I have attained this position as king, as emperor, and all the wealth and all the things in my possession only by the blessings of Supreme Lord, which come from the blessings of the Vaishnavas. Blessings of Vaishnavas are the root, cause of everything. So everything that I have is already your uchishta. It is all your remnant. So what can I give to you? There's nothing I can give to you. So he said, so in the same way that the servant of a king offers to the king some tambul, which already belonged to the king. So in the same way, O Vaishnav Thakur, I am offering to you my pran, my body, my mind, my words, my family members, my kingdom and everything, all I am offering to you, though it's already yours. And I am begging that you simply be merciful to me and accept it. Accept this offering. So Prithu Maharaj showed what is the mood of ideal Vaishnava and ideal king. So then the four Kumaras, they went away, and Prithu Maharaj, he engaged himself in his duties in the world without attachment to the result of them. This makes the chitta gradually cleansed of Rajagun and Tamagun. And on top of that, he was continuously engaged in hearing and chanting and remembering. And always honoring the Vaishnavas. And then after some time, when he was ready, he retired. And he went to the forest along with his wife Archie. And there in the forest, gradually, he was only living on fruits and roots. And after some time, not even taking fruits and roots, he was taking only dry leaves and water. And after some time, he gave that also. Then he didn't take water and he was living only on pran. And then gradually, he became unmanifest from this world and attained the supreme destination. So, Mahajano yena gata sapanta. One should follow the path of Mahajanas. Don't make a brat to always be in this world like a pig with a snout in the trough of sense gratification. We have to make the plan, being in the association of pure Vaishnavas and gradually increasing our sadhana and leaving behind all bhoga vasana, all thoughts and desires in the mind. You know that it is only contemplating the activities of sense gratification in this world which is completely frustrates and ruins the very purpose of human life. So not only making a show of being aloof on the outside, but actually being aloof on the inside as well. One must be fully engaged in Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, and slowly, just as one caterpillar in a tree is moving from leaf to leaf, first puts his front legs on the next leaf and then lifts his back legs from the previous leaf, gradually transfer ourselves, our consciousness from this body into our Siddharup, into our spiritual form. And then, death will come, you won't even notice it. Vaishnavas don't know. They're one day serving Krishna and they never come out from their samadhi again. And then this is the perfection of life. So understand what is the path of life. Other than this, everything is suicide. And we try to follow the example of Prithu Maharaj and great Vaishnavas of ancient times, and in more recent times, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Srila Vishnu Thakur, our Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, our Guru Dev. They've all walked the path to Goloka Vrindavan, hold very tightly onto their dhoti and follow them. Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna.
Sadhu, sadhu.
So tomorrow, what time is the program tomorrow? At 6 o'clock at Flute Sang. Please come at 6 o'clock to Flute Sang Farm tomorrow. And I think there'll be many persons who are inquisitive and curious about the path of bhakti, who have not so much experience. So we'll be speaking some special katha about the glories of the Mahamantra and the holy name and kirtan for them. And I dare say something may be valuable for you also. And for me also. And also tomorrow is Akadasi Bharat. So we'll sing one kirtan and then Mahaprasad will be served for everyone. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Which kirtan shall we sing? Yes, make a circle, fill in all the gaps. If there's a gap, fill the gap. Make a circle and then... Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ki Jai Nityalila Krishna Om Vishnu Padaya Sura Saraswat Rupananda Chaitanya Shri Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Krishna Om Vishnu Padaya Sura Saraswat Gaura Govinda Swami Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Krishna Om Vishnu Padaya Sura Saraswat Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityalila Krishna Om Vishnu Padaya Sura Saraswat Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Bhagavad Pravash Gopshala Swami Maharaj Ki Jai Sampurna Swami Sajanta Prabhaktinod Ki Jai Shri Rupananda Gauri Guruvar Ki Jai Jai Shri Rup Sanatana Bhattardhara Shri Gopal Bhattara Samna Sarva Swami Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haras Thakur Ki Jai Ramana Suroy Ramananda Shri Gopashra Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaurvanda Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Brajamandala Ki Jai Shri Katramandal Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Abhinna Vrindavan Anmagat Sri Navadvima Padam Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Sri Radha Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki